Hello, Christy Hartman here. Welcome back to my channel. Let's talk today about the yin and yang of botanical gel printing. I think gel printing does have a yin and yang, especially during today's video. I'm going to focus in on using botanicals and stencils to develop a pleasing composition. The yin and yang is how all of these different materials can work together. They're opposite, but interconnected. Each material is used in a similar fashion, but can develop a different dynamic look depending on how it's used. We're going to use two different stencils today. We're going to use Cape Rocks, which looks like this. And you can see how I use that in the background of this print. We're also going to use Aqueous Effervescence, which is another PM Artist Studio stencil, and you can see how it was used in the background of this print. The goal of those two different stencils is to break up the background, enhance the foreground, and develop pattern and texture. This is not an exact science. Instead, it's based on personal preference. You'll see me use two different stencils, which both have a rounded circular pattern, which I just showed you, with round leaves. My suggestion to you is to play around with different patterns, play around with different botanicals, and see what do you like. I'm going to show you how to print each one of these two prints using these rounded leaves, which are aspen leaves, and I hope that you enjoy the process. These are some leaves that I took off of an aspen tree. So I'm just randomly going to place these, hopefully in a pleasing pattern. That should work. And let's remove the paint. I'm using a piece of deli paper, and it's a larger size piece of. I generally use deli paper for this purpose. I could use my Carnival wet strength tissue, but deli paper is just so incredibly inexpensive in comparison to my Carnival wet strength tissue paper that I really hate to use it for this purpose when I can use deli paper instead. I get asked frequently, how do I know when I've pulled enough paint off? And that's a question you're going to have to answer for yourself. It will depend on the look you're going for and your personal preference. When I'm doing a botanical print like this, these are most likely going to be in the background. Consequently, I don't want a lot of my anthraquinone left on my plate. I want a pretty clean plate. So I will keep pulling until I know I've removed most of the paint. That was number 3. This will be number 4. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do it one more time. Let's pull these off. These leaves actually have some ridges on them, so when I press these, they didn't press out completely flat. But I kind of like the texture that they're leaving. this will have to dry, and it'll have to dry completely. And because I'm using my open paints, it will probably take them overnight to dry. But I'm okay with that because the open paint gives you the depth and the detail and the definition on your botanicals that I don't get when I use other paints. I'm going to go over the top of it with a stencil, which if you watch my videos you've seen me use this a lot. I use aqueous effervescence frequently. It's one of my favorite stencils. What I love about aqueous is that it's just so versatile. I'm going to use like phthalo blue over the top of this. And I'm liking this. And I think we'll pull it with Titan Buff. That's a nice print. I'm happy with that. In this portion of the video, I'm going to show you how to use both the negative and the positive sides of the stencil to develop the background for your print. In this instance, I'm using the negative image using iridescent bright gold fine in the open line to develop the background. In the next section, I will flip this stencil over and use the positive image. And I think that I have enough paint on the back of this, and because it's open, I think I can do this. We're going to set it down right on the top of that. We're going to take our little brayer. We're going to use whatever paint is left on that brayer. I'm going to rub this across those leaves. Yeah, I think that could be kind of interesting. We'll see. That's actually going to be really, really pretty. I'm pretty happy with that one. That one looks really nice. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it. Please leave me a thumbs up. Consider being a subscriber if you're not already. Leave me a comment. I always love to hear your comments. Tell your friends. See you in my next video.